Hello and welcome back to episode 66 of St Albans FC. We're back once again for the new season, where we're still in League 2, but this year we need to bounce back stronger than ever from that disappointment and aim for the title. And in order to do that, we have made quite a few new signings. We haven't paid out any money. We have brought money in though. Before we go too in depth, please, if you are enjoying the series, leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think of the F1 content that we've released recently. Let me know if you're enjoying the FM content. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to see as well. But yeah, subscribe. It's massively appreciated. We're on just over 50 subscribers. We want to push on towards 75. Let's get into the transfers. So, first of all, outgoings. There's a few that have left, starting with Theo Williams, right wing back, who's left £60,000 to Plymouth. His contract was expiring next season, and he was not really getting into the team with Laird in front of him, and also some new signings. We've also let Willie McKeever go out on loan for a year for £950 overall, £85 a week, and they're paying a bit of his contract as well. And then since then, we've also just sent Kineen on loan to Brackley Town. Incoming, however, we've got David Kennedy is now signed on a permanent deal as our goalkeeper. We are still on the lookout for if we can get somebody better, but he's solid for us, if nothing else. We then have a former Leeds player, Charlie Albrighton. So, as you know, last year we had Morris and Torre as our ball-winning midfielder. Morris not returning this year. His contract expired with his parent club. He chose not to sign for us, so we've brought in Charlie Albrighton instead on a free transfer. He played for York last year, 15 appearances. He does look quite good, and he's got a bit of extra potential as well. Next up, we have David French on a free transfer from Chelsea. He's a centre-back with a lot of potential. It doesn't actually say what potential he's got, but he's potentially 5 stars, so very good. 6 foot at the moment at 17 years old. He might have a little bit more growing to do, but hopefully as a ball-playing defender, he can settle into that role nicely for us. Then we have returning on loan Edward Bennett from Fulham. Of course, we had him a couple of years ago when he got the 20 goals for us in our first season. Then I don't know why this is implying he was here last year, because obviously he didn't come back last year. He's probably going to be back up to Davani, but a very good backup option to have, so Nising, he can stay out on that right hand side where he's been really strong for us. Then we have Kelvin Diallo, a guy who's coming on a free from Sheffield Wednesday. Not quite as good as I would have hoped, but he's got the option to play as right wing back if we need him to, or attacking right wing. He's not particularly great, but he might be able to do a job in the Papa John's Trophy. Then we've got Oakley Thompson, a left winger. Well, that's where he's going to be. He's going to be playing the inside forward role for us. His finishing's poor, but outside of that, he does look quite good. Again, quite a bit of potential. We had a few left wingers that we looked at, but a few of them also rejecting us. And then finally, we have Rilind Vukac, a left back / left wing back, who can also play attacking mid if we needed him to. But he's coming in as a rotation option at left wing back, along with people like Ryan Jones and Wellington Louise. Again, potential to be a good championship level player. so he can come in and be very good at this level, I'm sure. We are still on the lookout for any other signings. We've got a few guys in on trial at the moment. Kamal Grant and Jacob Knightbridge, who we might be bringing back in. Other than that, not anything else to really go through. We've let a few players go as well. If we go to the released players, so Emery, Brain, a few youth players here, Wiltshire and Moriarty have left as well, and there was a couple, they were last season actually, although Wesley Connings has actually retired now, which is surprising because he looked quite good when we initially signed him. Kieran Wiltshire yet to find a new club, as is Freddie Moriarty, which is a shame because I liked both of them. And I mean, Moriarty was starting to moan about playing time, and I get that because he's not going to get playing time for us anymore. But we're going to start the season now. We've got Northampton first up, away from home, and let's get into it. And the lineup for the game against Northampton, we've got Kennedy in goal, a back three of Phillips, French and York. Laird and Vukaj are the wing backs, with Albrighton and Pring in the midfield. Then we've got Nasingi on the right, Thompson on the left, and Davani as the sole striker. Let's see if we can start the season off with a win against Northampton. Hopefully we can. I feel relatively confident that we can pull it off. We got a highlight here as Curry heads down to Ralph, tries to play it through, but Laird reads it well and clears it away. Stickland goes over the top, French heads away, and Vukaj finds Thompson, who just passes it off one of their players. Ralph goes over the top to Curry, and he's buried it, but he's offside, and that must have been a very close call. We're not going to get a replay of it though. Now we've got Thompson giving away a free kick. Stickland plays it in behind, and Samuel's one-on-one with the keeper, and this time he's onside, and that's far, far too easy for Northampton. It's took them barely any effort. They've just gone route one, and York isn't aware to it. French isn't aware to it. Kennedy's not aware to it. Where's he diving? He's dived out the way of the ball. Throw in for Vukaj. He's tried to find Davani, but he can't find anyone but Robinson for Northampton. Samuel tries to play it through, but we play it out calmly, and then back to Kennedy. He goes forward to Thompson, who goes past his man. He's got Davani in front of him. Nasingi out on the right, who takes it down brilliantly and should finish that. But he makes it very easy for Rushworth to make the save. Corner now for Albrighton. He plays it short to Laird, who then plays it straight off his man, gets a deflection off him and goes out for a Northampton throw. Vukaj with a throw in here, goes inside to Thompson, who then goes over the top to Davani. That's a wonderful ball, 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he's not finished it. And that's the chance that you've got to take. That's where Davani costs us occasionally. Albrighton sends the corner and Pring can't win the header. And Laird's going to collect it. Can he get it back upfield? He can, but not to anyone. At half-time, we're losing 1-0 through that Route 1 goal. We're going to tell them all that we're disappointed in them so far. And hopefully we can see something else in the second half when we go attacking. Throw in here, Vukaj can't get it to Thompson. York collects it deep though. And plays it across field to Nasingi, who brings it down brilliantly and absolutely rockets it home into the top corner. Gets us back on level terms, and that is much more like it. Although you wouldn't expect York to be the one putting in a ball like that. Brilliant cross across the box, and Nasingi with a fantastic finish to equalise. And shortly after the goal, Vukaj has picked up an injury. Wellington Louise is going to come on in his... Shortly after that, Vukaj has picked up an injury, but Louise is going to come on in his place. And hopefully we won't be affected too much by that. And hopefully it's not a serious injury. although it is the knee, which can be some bad news. We've got a throw-in on the left. Louise goes to Thompson, back to Louise. Can he find space to get a cross in? He does, but it's headed away by Lewis. Curry collects it. Ralph goes over the top to Samuel. York had pushed up, and that could prove costly, but Samuel's shot isn't the best this time. We're going to make changes here with Thompson coming off for O'Rourke and Bennett coming on for Devani, who's not really got going so far. And hopefully, if we go maybe a bit more direct as well, we'll get a goal. Throwing on the right, Laird goes to Nasingi, who gets past his man quite well. And he finds O'Rourke in space on the far side. And what a volley from O'Rourke. I thought he'd not got enough on it. But it turns out he's just kept it far enough away from the goalkeeper. At that point, we're going to drop our tactics down to kill a bit of time. But the ball from Nasingi, it was crying out for the cross into the space. He finds it and O'Rourke just wastes no time. Maybe that's what catches the keeper out, just catching it on the volley like that. But what a finish to put us 2-1 in the lead. Late free kick for Northampton, and that is cruel. That is so, so cruel. The cross comes in and all of a sudden Northampton have got an equaliser. Lewis with the free kick. Who is this? Nasingi. He doesn't even realise that he was marking a man. And we've ended up with a 2-2 draw away to Northampton. It's not the worst way to start the season. The way we conceded the goal was pretty bad though. We are going to tell Thompson and Devani that we're not happy with their performances, because it wasn't good enough from them. And Devani in particular had the one really good chance to, I think it would have been equalised at the time or take the lead, and really should have took it. But we'll head back to the schedule and see where we're going to come back. As usual, when we're in early season, we're going to come back for probably the EFL Cup second or third round, depending on who we draw and provided we get past Newport. If not, we'll come back somewhere around Newport and Harrogate. If you are wondering, the teams that have been promoted and relegated. So promoted, we've got Accrington Stanley and Solihull Moors. And coming down, we've got Newport County, Leyton Orient, Forest Green and Swindon Town. Also, quick note here as well. We are starting to make a bit of money, 600,000 in the balance roughly. However, we are now having to ground share at the Hive with Barnet, who are from the league below us, which is a little bit annoying in my opinion. But hopefully we can get our stadium up to standard very soon, because we don't want to be ground sharing and have to pay to do so. But if you have enjoyed that, leave a like down below, comment your prediction for the season, subscribe if you're enjoying the series on the content, and thank you very much for watching.